5 murders, 2 survivors, and a terrifying claim of 37 lives taken. In the late 1960s, a lone gunman terrorized Northern California, choosing his targets in isolated turnouts and secluded beaches. But he didn't just kill, he wrote to newspapers, demanded front-page coverage, and challenged the public with coded ciphers, taunting the police while leaving a trail of terror that remains unsolved to this day. The story begins on December 20, 1968, in Solano County, California. Around 11:15 p.m., 17-year-old David Arthur Faraday and 16-year-old Betty Lou Jensen pulled into a gravel turnout on Lake Herman Road near Berryessa. An armed assailant approached their parked car and fired into the vehicle, forcing them out. As Betty Lou fled, she was shot 5 times in the back. David was shot once in the head at point-blank range. Both died at the scene. Investigators recovered 10.22 caliber shell casings, but found no physical contact and no signs of robbery. Just over 6 months later, on July 4, 1969, at approximately 12:10 a.m., a second attack occurred just 4 miles away at Blue Rock Springs Park in Vallejo. 22-year-old Darlene Elizabeth Ferrin and 19-year-old Michael Reno Mago were sitting in a parked car when a vehicle pulled up alongside them. The driver illuminated their car with a bright spotlight before opening fire with a 9mm handgun. Darlene Ferrin was killed. Michael Mago survived. At 12:40 a.m., just 30 minutes after the shooting, a call was placed to the Vallejo Police Department from a payphone nearby. The caller reported the shooting at Blue Rock Springs and claimed responsibility for the murders on Lake Herman Road 6 months prior. At the end of July 1969, 3 Bay Area newspapers, the San Francisco Chronicle *, the San Francisco Examiner *, and the Vallejo Times Herald *, received letters from the killer. He demanded that his written words and a 408-symbol cipher be printed on the front pages under the threat of more killings. On August 8, 1969, a schoolteacher from Salinas named Donald Harden, along with his wife, Biddy, successfully cracked the 408 cipher. The deciphered message revealed a disturbing text about collecting slaves for the afterlife, but it did not reveal the killer's identity. Then, on September 27, 1969, around 4 p.m., the killer struck again on a secluded beach at Lake Berryessa in Napa County. 22-year-old Cecilia Ann Shepard and 20-year-old Brian Calvin Hartnell were approached by a man wearing a black executioner's hood emblazoned with a crossed circle symbol. Holding a gun and a wooden-handled knife, the man tied both victims with plastic clothesline before stabbing them repeatedly. Cecilia Shepard died from her injuries. Brian Hartnell survived. Before leaving, the attacker used a black marker to write a message directly onto the door of Hartnell's Volkswagen Carmen Ghia. The message listed the dates of the 2 previous attacks, adding, September 27, 69, 6:30, by knife. At 7:40 p.m., a phone call was placed to the Napa Police Department from a payphone, reporting the crime. 2 weeks later, on October 11, 1969, at 9:55 p.m., 29-year-old taxi driver Paul Lee Stine picked up a fare in downtown San Francisco. Upon arriving at the intersection of Washington and Cherry Streets in Presidio Heights, the passenger shot Stine once in the head with a 9mm handgun. The shooter took Stine's wallet and keys and tore away a section of his bloody shirt tail. Teenagers observing from a second-story window called the police as the crime unfolded in Presidio Heights. However, an initial police radio dispatch inadvertently misdescribed the suspect as a black male. Responding officers Armand Pelisetti and Don Fouke passed a white male nearby, but let him slip away due to the inaccurate broadcast description. Using witness descriptions from the teenagers, the San Francisco Police Department produced the iconic composite sketch that appeared on official wanted posters. 2 days after the murder, on October 13, 1969, the San Francisco Chronicle received a letter containing a bloody strip of Paul Stine's shirt tail, proving beyond doubt that the writer was the killer. On November 8, 1969, the killer mailed another cryptogram to the San Francisco Chronicle known as the 340 cipher. This complex 340-character message stumped cryptographers and federal investigators for decades. Letters continued over the following years. On January 29, 1974, the newspaper received what is considered the final confirmed letter from the perpetrator, the Exorcist letter, which concluded with the line, "Score SFPD 0, Zodiac 37. It was not until 51 years later, in December 2020, that a private team of code breakers, David Aranchak, Sam Blake, and Jarl Van Eyck, finally cracked the 340 cipher. Verified by the FBI, the decoded message began, "I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch Emmy." Law enforcement officially confirms 7 direct victims across 4 separate attacks between December 1968 and October 1969, 5 killed and 2 who survived. Although the killer claimed 37 victims, police have found no physical or ballistics evidence connecting him to the additional 30 deaths. The forensic evidence presents significant puzzles. Ballistics confirmed different weapons were used, a .22 caliber firearm at Lake Herman Road, and 9mm handguns at Blue Rock Springs and Presidio Heights. Fingerprints and palm prints collected from crime scenes and letters have failed to match any primary named suspects. Arthur Lee Allen was considered the primary suspect by lead detectives, including Vallejo Detective John Lynch and SFPD Detective Dave Toscai, due to circumstantial factors like his wearing a Zodiac brand watch and owning boots matching footprints from a crime scene. However, Allen was exonerated by handwriting samples, latent fingerprints, palm prints, and partial DNA profiles extracted from the killer's envelopes. Other named candidates, such as Lawrence Kane, Ross Sullivan, Richard Gaikowski, and Gary Francis Porst, remain speculative, with no physical or forensic evidence linking them to the crime scenes. Similarly, connections to unconfirmed cases, like the 1966 murder of Shirley Jo Bates in Riverside or the 1970 disappearance of Donna Lass in Lake Tahoe, remain unproven by law enforcement. 2 shorter codes sent by the killer, the My Name Is cipher and the Map cipher, remain unsolved due to their short length, which allows for thousands of valid mathematical solutions without a unique key. Today, the case of the Zodiac Killer remains an open cold case under active investigation by the San Francisco Police Department, the Vallejo Police Department, the Napa County Sheriff's Office, the Solano County Sheriff's Office, and the FBI. No criminal charges or indictments have ever been issued.